What's up, guys? International Ishak here, co-starring Asher's Ambition.
Yeah.
Check him out on YouTube. He also makes Korean videos, makes a lot better videos than I do. So check him out, give him a subscribe. I'll throw him somewhere in here. Today we're actually change of scenery, obviously, from the normal bedroom setting that I'm usually in. We're in Seoul.
We're leveling up.
Yeah, moving up in the world.
Yeah.
Today, though, kind of ironic, I'm talking about living in rural South Korea while we're in the biggest city, but that's what we're doing today. So,
when you're in your apartment, we're going to talk about living in Seoul. It's just like, wait, what's going on?
Visiting Seoul,
Yeah.
Little Yongu.
Yeah.
So yeah, we both live in a rural area. I'm in Yongu.
Mm-hmm. I'm in Yangyang, which is like near the East Sea, near Seoul area.
Yeah, so it's both small areas. We're going to talk about basically the pros and cons of being in a small area, just kind of what life is like. So I guess from the get-go, did you have any, what was your first, so even before you came to Korea, where were you hoping you'd be placed?
So for me, actually, I put Seoul in my application originally.
Okay.
So when I came to Korea, on my application, I actually did it through an agency. You did Korean Horizons, right?
Yeah.
And I used Reach to Teach. And so the thing was, I didn't know much about Korea. Like I watched some videos, people talking about it and stuff like that. And so I put Seoul at first, and then like my agent was just like, Asher, everybody puts Seoul in their application, right? And so that was kind of like, okay, well, it told me another place I should do it. That's just like, well, you can't do Busan because for Busan you have to get like a different TOEFL. So I was like, okay, I guess not Busan. And he said Daegu. So I put Daegu in my application. And then when my contract came, it's like, oh, you're in Gangwon, so which is like the most rural province in South Korea. So did you put Seoul?
No, I actually, so I was thinking about doing Seoul the whole time. Like when I was applying, I'm like, I'm gonna do Seoul, and then like a month before, I'm like, if I'm coming to Korea, like I want the most, I guess, Korean experience, most like traditional kind of experience. If I'm doing this, I want to, I guess, do it, like go all the way. Yeah. Like pros and cons and all. Like I'd rather like get the full experience. So I actually changed it. I looked at the list of like what you could select and started putting them all in Google. Saw Gangwon and saw it was like a more scenic area. We have a ton of mountains in Gangwon. I didn't realize how big it was though. But so I put Gangwon. Obviously didn't put Yongu. You can't choose like the specific town or little city you want to be in. You just do the the province.
Right.
So I put Gangwon, knowing I'd probably be in a rural area. So it was actually something I was kind of going for.
Yeah.
And it worked out. So Yongu is like, I've mentioned on a couple of my videos, Yongu is basically North Korea.
Pretty much.
I'm there.
Yeah.
All of, half of the population in Yongu are like soldiers. That's where they're all at. And then the DMZ is up there, the demilitarized zone, separating South Korea from North Korea is right there. So I'm like in North Korea basically.
Yeah.
And it's cool. It's except for all the emergency alerts I get. I can't translate. So I'm like, all right, we're getting invaded today.
Were you scared when you first saw the emergency alert being so close to North Korea? Because the text you get is in Korean, right? Like it's in Hangul. So you're like emergency, like, oh man, I'm right by North Korea. Like what's happening? You know? Did you get scared of that?
Yeah, it was a little nerve-wracking. And I don't know any Korean. I can't translate it. I really can't even read it right now. Embarrassingly enough to say. But yeah, so, and with the emergency alerts, it doesn't even let you copy the text or anything.
Yeah, it doesn't.
So I couldn't like translate it.
Yeah.
So the first one, I'm like, shit, like what's going on?
Yeah.
And it's like, going on. I'm like, we might be invaded right now. Like need to call the embassy or something.
Yeah.
But no, it's always been just like air pollution or something.
Yeah.
But living in Yongu is like, it's bigger than I thought it would be. I was thinking I'd be like in the just middle of nowhere, like with nothing around me. We actually have like a little downtown area, which is nice. We have a strip where we'll find restaurants, we'll find cafes. You can go to like the PC rooms. So it's nice how much we have, but it's also still that small town feel.
Right.
Yeah. How is it in your area?
It's the same thing with me. When I first came to my area, I feared that like, oh man, it's gonna be rural. They're gonna have like no restaurants. They're gonna have like, you know, tumbleweed, like and stuff like that. Like literally in my mind, yeah, just like rolling by. I literally like I just, you know, I had this image in my head. I was just like, oh man, and like same thing like you said. So I didn't actually like choose to be placed in Gangwon, like I said earlier, but I was open to it. Like I was like, you know what, if I get put in a rural area, it doesn't really matter, because like one of the benefits obviously with staying in the rural area is it's cheaper. So like the food's cheap. You don't have all like the crazy things going on, so you do save a lot of money by living in a rural area. And when I got to Yangyang, like it was pretty nice. Like we're by the sea, so like there's people surfing, there's beaches and stuff like that. He actually told me about a taco place that they have there.
Yeah,
and
best tacos in Korea.
Yeah, and when we found out, it was like, wait, what? There's tacos in the rural area? And so yeah, it's not that bad. You'd be surprised. Like when you get to like these areas, you're like, oh, there's more than I expected. So it's like a pleasant surprise.
Yeah, your area was actually cool. The sea, like. There's like where this taco shop is, it's like it's almost like it's little niche community of like surfer, like hippie kind of guys.
Yeah, surfer town.
And it's like winter and there's a bunch of people out there just surfing. Your area is cool. But yeah, going off the benefits of saving money, if you are in a rural area, you also get the rural allowance.
Yes.
So you get an extra 100,000 won each month. And on top of that, it is super cheap. Like cost of living isn't bad at all. Like if you were living in Seoul, you'd have just even the lack of opportunity is almost a benefit. Like there's so many ways to spend your money here.
Yeah.
In Yongu, there's not a whole lot of ways to spend your money.
Yeah.
You have enough to like do stuff, but we have like Noreban.
A few bars?
Yeah, we have a couple bars, and then we have like the PC bar.
Yeah.
And then some restaurants. So like, it's almost nice like you have a limited amount of things to do. So you're like, all right, like I can save some money now. Like this doesn't cost that much. This doesn't cost that much.
Right.
It's nice if you are into gaming, like the PC room. In my area, they're even more expensive than like Seoul, but it's like 1,300 won an hour. So
that's pretty cheap.
Yeah, you can stay at a PC room for 5 hours, leave spending under $10.
Yeah.
10,000 won.
Yeah.
So it's like it's cheap entertainment. So it really is nice that you can save a lot of money in a rural area.
Yeah, definitely. I also think like living in a rural area, you're making a little more of a difference. I feel like if you're in Seoul, like there's a lot of foreigners here, and the students get to see like, you know, people like us. But like when you go to these rural regions, like you're pretty much like one of very, very few foreigners within a certain radius, you know. And so like when the students see you, I feel like they like are more interested about learning English and stuff like that. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. So I know like you're basically like a celebrity in your town. You know. So if you're a narcissist, you may want to come to rural Korea. Yeah, they treat you like you're Zac Efron or something, man.
Ryan Gosling over here.
Yeah. I walk in and like, so when I first got to school, I walk in and all the kids are like, oh. They think it's the craziest thing that I'm here. And now we have girls. So I was an all boys middle school. Now we have girls in the first grade. And even more, man. I thought the guys were like, you know, gave a lot of attention. The girls go crazy though. It's like, seriously, they think you're like some like bachelor model or something. They just scream like,
Christian teacher.
Walking to class like trying to be like composed and a teacher. Like, and you almost like you try to like keep your composure, but it's funny. Like you start smiling, laughing.
That's actually so cool too, because like I remember I've had some days where I'm like, I don't want to go to school today, like I'm not feeling it, having a rough day or whatever, hungover. And I go to school and then like you said, like the kids give you so much energy and you're like, oh man, I'm like happy to be here, you know, like I'm ready to teach these kids, you know? Yeah.
But on the other hand, I do think in a rural area that they might have less motivation to learn English. I think a lot of times in a big city like Seoul, Busan or something, people that are going to school, a lot of the times, like in the city, they have like higher aspirations or more, maybe not even higher aspirations, but like more pressure on them just being around all the opportunity to learn. Whereas a lot of people in rural areas, they're from like the rural area, they might like stay in a family business or like be a farmer or something, so they don't have the desire or the motivation to learn English. And I've seen that a lot at my middle school. I don't know whether it's just like, boys middle school, that's a tough age regardless of where you are. But I've seen a lot of students that just don't want to be there, they don't want to learn, and that's been a real struggle that I would suspect is probably more prevalent in a rural area versus a city. So, I don't know.
It can go both ways. Yeah. Maybe the students see you and they think, oh my God, I want to learn English so I can talk to a Christian teacher. Or maybe it goes the other way, where, like you said, like, oh, I have no intentions of leaving Korea. I love, this rural area, family business, or just, living in that rural place. So that makes sense.
Yeah.
And
do you have any other cons, I guess, of being in a small town?
Like you mentioned earlier already, we talked about pollution a little bit. So the pollution in like the rural area where we live, it's less than in Seoul. So my understanding is a lot of it comes from like China and stuff.
Yeah, that's what they're saying.
Yeah, so it comes over, but we're on the eastern side of the country and China is on the west. So we don't get it as bad as Seoul, because Seoul's on the west side of the country. And other cons, I can't really complain, to be honest. Like we had mentioned, you make your money, and obviously sometimes not everything that you want is available, so you gotta go to the bigger cities and stuff. But every time we come to Seoul, it's a lot of fun, and I actually appreciate it that way. I don't want to be here all the time. Whenever I feel like I want to have a good time, I want to go to Seoul, or the big city life, then we come here. And in America, did you live in a big city? Or
no, I didn't. Yeah, or a small area.
Yeah, exactly. So same with me. Like the city that I lived in, I didn't live in Toronto. I lived outside of Toronto. So I kind of like, the smaller community feel. So definitely it worked out for us for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do think that you, I guess, appreciate Seoul more when you don't live here.
Yeah.
You don't get tired of it.
Yeah.
You get here for the weekend, get gassed out, dip, go back, and then you can do it again a month later.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're here, you're like, all right, you go hard on a weekend, and you're like, well, I'm still here.
Yeah. Definitely one last benefit I'm going to mention is like when you're in these rural areas, I feel like you have more time to yourself, Yeah. If we're living in Seoul, like obviously you can still have your alone time and be with yourself, but like there's just so many things to do here. You feel like kind of like, oh, let me go here, let me go do this, let me go do that. But then when you're in Yanggu or in Yangyang and like there's not much to do on the outside, you can study, right? You can take an online course, you can whatever, watch more Netflix. If you're more of like a lonely person or you don't like socializing as much, definitely living outside the big cities is a plus, I think.
Yeah. I guess, like you said, it depends, on who you are, your personality type. You may hate, being with your own thoughts. So, the rural area is not for you, but I enjoy it. I like decompressing. I like doing nothing, like not feeling the urge that I have to go like do everything. See everything. Like in Yanggu, I've already seen everything. Right? It's like if you're in Seoul, you always have that something else you can do. So it's nice that I can just decompress. I can have a relaxing life, and then when I want the entertainment, I can do a 2-hour trip, and then I'm here and I go back to my normal life. I think another con for me specifically is transportation in a rural area is a little difficult. I have the downtown area of Yanggu, but I live outside of the downtown area. So there's nothing within walking distance for me. I can't get any. There's like a tiny little store that's open that might have like some chips and like sodas and stuff, but like there's nothing besides that. So I have to, every time I want to go do something, I have to get a bus, go downtown, and get a bus back, just to get into town, get out of town. And bus availability is pretty bad, and it made it worse now. Like they just rescheduled and made even less buses. So like you have to really be on that schedule. It's like 1 hour now. And the last bus, like to go from downtown back to my place, is like 7:40. So like if you're out past 7:40, you have to get a taxi. And taxis are more expensive in a rural area, so I pay 7,000 won basically to get 8 minutes down the road. But yeah, I think that's probably the biggest con for me, is just getting from my place to downtown.
Right. That actually makes sense. So not a lot of people are traveling a lot, so it doesn't make sense for them to have so many buses available when no one's taking them, right?
Yeah.
So they only do like the peak hours, I guess, which is still at 6 or 7 p.m. and then after that they're done. So definitely that's a struggle. It can be a struggle for sure.
Yeah. All in all though, I think I'm glad I live where I do. I am thinking about staying a second year, and if I do, good chances are I'll just stay where I'm currently at. I probably won't transfer. There's a chance I do, but more than likely right now I'll just stay in my area. Even with the cons, I just enjoy where I'm at. It's just, I like being in a rural area.
Yeah, definitely.
So, this has been the video for today. I hope you enjoyed. Hope it wasn't really that informative as far as like a lot of my videos are like the process of being here, what to expect teaching. Lately I've been doing more relaxed, and I guess this is probably the most relaxed one I've done.
Super casual.
Yeah, but hope you enjoyed. You can take some bits of knowledge and know more about Korea. While you're here, check out some of my other videos. Check out my boy's videos. He is also a YouTuber. Give him some views. I will link his stuff below. If you've already checked out all my videos, I will see you next Thursday.
Next Thursday.
Next Thursday for a new video. See you guys.
See ya.